This video is going to cover Unit 20-4, Complementary and Supplementary Angles. Complementary angles, they add up to be 90. So I have angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. Supplementary angles, they add up to be 180. So I could have angle 3 plus angle 10 equals 180 degrees. Complementary, add up to be 90. Supplementary, add up to be 180. So let's take a look at some examples of that. On page 545, right just below the middle, just below the power up, we have complements and supplements of angles. So number 7 is, what is the complement of these angles? So number 59. Number 7 is 59. So what is the complement of 59? So in order to find that, two angles that add up to be 90, if I'm given one of the angles and I want to find the other one, I have to take 90, subtract that angle. So 90 minus 59, I'm not going to bother with the degrees. So 90 minus 59 is 90 minus 60 is 30, so that would be 31. So 59 and 31 are complementary angles. So what about, let's say, number 10? Number 10, 90 minus 1 is equal to 89. So 1 and 89 are complementary angles. All right, so let's say we've got one in degrees, minutes, seconds. So let's just take number 13, for example. So 90, and I'm going to write it this way, minus, what did I say, 13? 73 degrees, 18 minutes, and 27 seconds. So 90 minus this. Okay, so right now I've got zeros here. So 0 minus, so I got a problem. So what I need to do is, because there's 0 here, I need to come here and borrow. Well, there's nothing there to borrow, so I need to come all the way over to here. So I take 1 degree from 90, which leaves me with 89. That's going to make 60 here, because remember, 1 degree is 60 minutes. But I need to continue borrowing, so I take 1 minute from here, that makes this 59. So I come all the way over to here, that makes this 60 seconds. Okay? So now I can go ahead and do the subtraction. So 60 minus 30 is 30, so this is going to be 33 minutes. 41, or 33 seconds, sorry, that was seconds. 41 minutes and 16 degrees. So these two angles right here are complementary. If I add them up, I will get 90 degrees. All right. Okay, so while I'm on this complementary stuff, I want to kind of look ahead at a triangle. Now, we haven't dealt with triangles yet. We're going to, but I want to point out something. While we're talking about complementary angles right now, I want to point out something. When we start dealing with right triangles, and we're dealing with things like the Pythagorean theorem and stuff like that, we'll get into this in more detail, but this means this is 90 degrees right here. So in a right triangle, the other two angles, since all three angles in a right triangle add up to be 180, this one takes up 90 of that, so that means I have 90 between these two. So when we're dealing with a right triangle, the other two angles, other than the 90, are going to be complementary. That's kind of important to understand when we get later. But since we're already talking about complementary angles, I'm going to mention this, and then we'll deal in more detail with that later. But just kind of as a point of reference, a look ahead sort of. So we will be dealing with some complementary angles when we get into right triangles. Okay? So let's continue with the supplementary angles now. So the supplementary angle of 84. So 180 minus 84. So 180 minus 80 is 100. So that means that I take 4 more away from that. And so that is 96 degrees. So these two angles here are supplementary. So let's look at one that's in degrees, minutes, seconds, which number 24 looks good. So 180 minus 89 degrees, 57 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay, once again, I have to cross that out and put 179, and this would be 60, but I need to borrow from that as well, so I'm just go ahead and write 59 in right here, and then 60 right there. And then do this subtraction. 10, 2, oh, let's see here. Why am I drawing a blank? Of course, it's definitely going to be a 0. Got to be a 9. So 90 degrees, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So these angles right here are supplementary angles. Let's try one more. So looking at the numbers 7 through 16, not only can I find the complement of each of those angles, but I can also find the supplement of each of those angles. That's not necessarily true with numbers 17 through 26. I can find the complement of each of those angles, but not necessarily. I mean, I can find the supplement of each of those angles, but not necessarily the complement. See, I get them mixed up too as we go. Because number 20 is 129. There is no complement to that. But number 18 is 19. So I could find both the complement and the supplement of that. And we do that just by subtracting. So let's try one more of the degrees, minutes, second type. 22 is an interesting one, just because of the way it's going to work out. 180 minus, what did I say? 22, yep. 179 and 59 minutes. Okay, so there's nothing here, so I borrow from this to make it 179, and then put a 60 right here. So this is going to become 1 minute. So this angle and this angle right here are supplementary. 179 degrees, 59 minutes is supplementary to an angle that is 1 minute.